Ray. I'm just sharing our understanding of it, and hopefully that will offer some value.
There'd be politically correct inconveniences, right? And, you know.
Hello, welcome to video 3 in our mini-series that we're calling 2014 Resolutions, Disillusions, and Solutions. My name is Russ Littau. I'm your host for this series. I am the founder of the Healing Center in Convergence Reiki and Ask the Spirituality Experts Radio and TV, really, this is a special production of that. If you want to check out more about the Ask the Expert series or anything else that we offer, head over to our main website at www.healingcenter.ca. That's center spelled CENTER.ca, and you can check out everything there is about us. You can check out our YouTube channel and different things like that. Okay? So, step 1 was creating your resolution, the mechanics of building that, right? Step 2 was contemplation, being just kind of rolling it over in your head now that your resolution has come to pass, right? Step 3, you don't have to go looking for step 3. It will come find you, especially if you're doing step 2, all right? So, here's what happens, right? And the good news is you're not crazy. The voices in your head are real, right? And I was just thinking on my way over to the studio this morning to record these is that our thoughts are voices, right? I mean, that's what they are. They're dialogue. They're voices going on in our head, and so for me, I interact with them just like their voices because they are, and here's the thing. Let's just say that they're not, and there's maybe there is no factual, there we go, got the word basis for that to be real or anything like that, right? The random synopsises or whatever it is, right? This is the way I look at it. Who cares, right? So if I can work with these thoughts that I call voices, right? And if by me having a conversation with them, I can use that skill, right, for purposes here to help me and support me in achieving my 2014 resolutions, I'm going to do it. Do I care whether there's factual information about it? Not really. What I care about is that it works, right? That's what I've harped on throughout this whole series. This is about application, practical, real-world stuff that works, right? I think with the previous video, I mentioned that it's not easy, right? These steps, these understandings, most of them, probably all of them, are really quite simple. And the steps that we're giving you are quite simple to apply. But here's what I also know to be true. Simple doesn't mean easy. Big difference, all right? I'm not saying for 1 second this stuff is easy. Matter of fact, if it's easy, you're probably not doing it right. They're not doing it hard enough, if you will, right? Okay, so step 3 is, as you contemplate it, as you do things like this, then step 3 is you're going to come into something that we call obstacles, right? And actually one of them, and I shared it in the introductory video, was the obstacles will come from your friends, right? Go figure, right? Remember how I said in the introductory video that, it might be a good idea in the beginning not to share your resolutions with other people, right? Or at the very least, use a lot of discretion in who you share them with. Why? Because, and it's not that they have any, malice or anything like that, right? Because in the beginning, this is really fragile. It's still kind of picking up momentum, right? And so it can be really easy for them to get derailed by the comments, by the questions, in the crazy way by the support of other people. And again, they're not purposely trying to derail you or anything like that. It's just you're kind of in a bit of a battleground now, especially up here, right? And they can say something, and this is kind of now segueing to the second piece of it. They can say something, and they have no, again, malintentions or anything like that. And you're done your conversation and off you go. But that darn voice of theirs is in your head. And then you start arguing with it, and you start thinking about it, and you go, oh, wow, geez, as I think I mentioned in one of the videos, I've released my debt, and I'm putting money into savings, and your friend says, well, you like them all far too much, so you start thinking about that, and you go, yeah, well, they're right, I do, and I have had this, this resolution for the last like 3 years, and it's never come to pass, and now you see how that's starting to kind of drag you back, right? So this is what's important to remember and to understand, and I think this is where you really start to experience the power of determination, passion, obsession, that kind of thing, because there's going to be contrary thoughts in your head, right? It may come again with no malintention from your friends, it may come from the news that you watch, it may come from an article in the newspaper that you see, and they kind of, all this stuff ends up in here, right? Here. And how is this, what are the primary substances of here? Our thoughts is these voices, these dialogues, right? See, so that's why, that power of contemplation is so important, because you're going to have those, you could call them doubts, whatever words you want to use to describe them. You're going to have them, right? They're going to show up, especially if you're really kind of hanging in on that step 2, right? That contemplation piece of it, right? So this is where understanding that in your thought, in those voices, you're the one that's in control. Now, I know it doesn't feel that way a lot of the times, right? And there's sometimes you'll go through the day, and you'll just right, you just got control of your thoughts, and everything's just full speed ahead, right? And then there's other days, you kind of got you got scratches in your butt because you've been dragging them across the concrete trying to move forward, right? I know that, right? I still have that, right? But understanding that I can manage those, and I mean, there's all sorts of different workshops that we have on how to manage those thoughts, but for our purposes here, understand that they're obstacles, right? And I don't want you to be afraid of them. I don't want you to go looking for them, but at the same time, I don't want you to run away from them, right? And actually, if you could go over to our YouTube channel, and you can get to it from the Healing Center website, or you can just go video, so I'll flash it below here, www.video.healingcenter.ca, you'll get to our YouTube channel, and scroll through the videos. You're looking for one called something to the effect of navigating the bumps in the road, and they really give you a good understanding of those voices and where they come from and things like that. But for our purposes here, understand that they're probably going to be there, and that's okay. Don't be afraid of them, right? Remember the power of contemplation, right? And this is where for me, it's so important that you nurture that contemplation, that rolling it over in your head. What's it going to feel like? Because you're starting to build some flavorings of thoughts that are in the direction you want to go, because you're going to need them to counteract the other ones that are kind of feels like in the opposite direction, right? So remember that, and boy, I tell you, I know this to be a fact, because I've experienced it so much and I've seen it in so many other people's lives. It's up here where you win the war, right? And it's in our thoughts, right? That is so crucial. And when we go into step 4, which is coming right up here, first of all, the more attention you pay to step 1, the more attention you pay to step 2, the more work that you put into step 3, and then following up with step 4, which is our next video, those all work together. And it's important that you don't neglect any one of those, right? You know, that step two, contemplating, so important because you're going to have the contradictory thoughts or voices. So you need something on the other side to help balance them off. And remember, in step two, when we're contemplating, and I don't know if I use these words, but when you're contemplating, this has nothing to do with facts, with reason, with even reality, right? You know, kind of thing, right? Just play with that. And then step three, understand there's going to be that battle is often what it feels like. It's the best way to counteract that for our purposes here. Understand that it's just obstructions, it's just obstacles, right? You know, think of it as, you know, you're riding in a car, and if you're standing still and you roll down the window and you stick your arm out, well, there's nothing, right? Now, you're driving down the highway and roll down the window, stick your arm out. Now there's a whole lot of wind or resistance, right? So one of the best indicators that you're going forward is that resistance, and that's where it presents itself to us in our thoughts, right? It may come through different avenues, but this is where we win the war, right here, okay? Again, simple, I'm not saying easy, but it is possible. It's going to take some work, it's going to take some practice, but it is possible. Perfect, excellent. As I said, my name is Russ Littau from the Ask the Spirituality Experts Radio and TV. This has been step 3 in our mini-series that we call 2014 Resolutions, Disillusions, and Solutions. I'll see you in the next video. Right, Ray, I'm just sharing our understanding of it, and hopefully that will offer some value.
To be politically correct inconveniences, right? And, you know...